Two, test 1 2, test 1 2, test 1 2, test 1 2, test 1 2 1 2. 7 minutes till showtime. Test 1 2, test 1 2.
Good evening, fans, and welcome to the Savannah Center here at IU Northwest for tonight's matchup between the St. Ambrose Fighting Bees and your IU Northwest Redhawks. What's going on, everybody? Steve Schmidt here alongside Juan Lopez.
What's going on, everybody?
So you may notice on your screen, it's the picture of the Redhawk Sports Network logo. This was not intentional. We're having camera issues tonight. We were battling with this as long as we possibly could, but in order for you all to get some sort of the broadcast tonight, here we are providing audio only. It's possible that the camera could start working at any time because it's been cutting in and out. We obviously didn't want it to be cutting in and out during the broadcast, so we do apologize if this is any kind of inconvenience for you all. But we have a really good night of Redhawk volleyball here in store tonight, Juan.
Yes, we do.
So both teams tonight come in off wins. First off for St. Ambrose, taking down St. Xavier in their last matchup in 5 sets, 3-2. Juan, one of those sets in that game that St. Ambrose was just in was 33-31. That was the score in one of the sets.
Wow, that's a pretty long set.
Yeah, so this team, both teams really in their last games, were no stranger to the close set. The Redhawks also took down Governor State on Saturday afternoon. In that game, the Redhawks took the first 2 sets, followed by Governor State taking sets 3 and 4, and the Redhawks pulled away in the 5th to win that one. In that game, Emelishka De Jesus pulled off her 3rd consecutive double-double, 22 kills and 12 digs. Alexis Turner also had 12 digs. Maddie Mottman with 29 assists in that game. Kelsey Farrell and Mary Markusik each had 7 blocks at the net, and Turner had 3 aces to lead the Redhawks. So tonight we're really excited for this matchup. We're just winding down here at the start of tonight's game. We're about 30 seconds away from what would be the pregame festivities. So we are going to go mute here while the teams get ready to get started tonight. We'll be right back. You're listening to Redhawk Volleyball on the Redhawk Sports Network. Welcome back to the Savannah Center here at IU Northwest. We're just moments away from the opening serve in tonight's game between the St. Ambrose Fighting Bees and your IUN Redhawks. Steve Schmidt here alongside Juan Lopez. And before we get started tonight, Juan, we have a very special happy birthday shout-out out there. Happy birthday to Greg Erminger, the brother of the head coach of the Redhawks, Brian Erminger. He's turning the big 5-0 today, so let's hope that the Redhawks can get the best birthday present out there.
And
give him a win.
Yeah.
So here we go. Redhawks getting ready to start things out. As out there to start out the game is going to be Turner, Mottman, De Jesus, Markusik, Farrell, Javert, and Roberts as she just rotates in here. Another fun fact here about this St. Ambrose team, Juan, just announced yesterday they have 2 of the 3 CCAC Volleyball Players of the Week on their team, and that's Amber Tomlin and Meredith Siebers. So they're 2 players for us to watch out for tonight.
Very impressive.
So here we go, getting ready for the start. Maddie Mottman back to serve. So here we go. Ball's up, and we are underway tonight here in the Savannah Center. Tomlin setting it up there. That's going to be a block at the net by Markusik, as Markusik was on fire with blocks at the net last game. Mottman right there to return the attack from the Fighting Bees. And that's going to be out of play off to the right-hand side of the court.
It looked like from my angle it was in, but then again, there was a player in my way. So
I was thinking the same thing, but I think it might have been the reflection with the lights on the line.
I agree.
Amber Tomlin back to serve for St. Ambrose. As we just mentioned, she was one of the 3 players of the week in the CCAC last week. Markusik's attack was blocked at the net by St. Ambrose front line. Roberts there with a good save as the ball is just getting ready to hit that back corner. Turner guides it over the net, returned there by the Fighting Bees. And that's going to be a kill there, first one of the game for Rachel Dion for the Bees, and they take the first 2 points in tonight's game. Tomlin will continue her serve.
That was a great spike to start off the game.
Serve there by Tomlin, dug out by Turner. Mottman setting it up. There goes Turner up, and she is blocked at the net there by Siebers and Peyton Wendt. And Juan, early on here, the Fighting Bees take the first 3 points in this first set.
That's great.
And that ball looked like it might have been guided over the pin by Mottman as she was trying to set it up.
You gotta love that effort, though, from Mottman.
Yeah, hustling out of play where the scorer's table is, trying to guide that ball back into play, but it was a little bit out of reach there. So Tomlin continuing her serve. There's Roberts to get on the receiving end of that, and De Jesus tries for the kill attempt, and that's going to be setting up an attack here as Mottman sprawls to the floor, but that's going to be point for St. Ambrose, and they are clicking on all cylinders here early, Juan, 5-0.
I noticed just a little bit of time watching them warming up. They look very structured.
Yeah.
As in they know what they're doing, simply.
Mottman setting it up. Javert goes up, and that's going to be the first point of the game for the Redhawks as that split the double team of Dion and Wendt for the Fighting Bees. And the Redhawks are on the board tonight.
That was a great and very unfortunate point that the Ambrose that lost.
Turner to serve for the Redhawks. Nice job there by Roberts to stuff the kill attempt by Sievers, and De Jesus puts it in front of 2 diving defenders for St. Ambrose.
That is their specialty, that spike that goes straight between 2 defenders.
St. Ambrose in their traveling Columbia blue jerseys, and the Redhawks are in their home whites, as that's going to be an ace for Turner. As the libero, Macy Pierce, can't handle that serve from Turner, and the Redhawks here fighting right back. I'm expecting this game to be very close, Juan. Both, like we mentioned at the top, in their last games respectively, they were all very close sets.
I agree, because the Redhawks, one thing that I know that they do.
And Dion gets that kill there in front of a diving Turner.
One thing I know that the Redhawks do very well is compete. And even if that means going an extra set or 2, they can pull it off.
I agree. That's one thing that they definitely do have is a lot of fight in them. As Sievers has the serve there, setting it up for the Redhawks to Jesus. That's going to be off the front line of Dion and Wendt for the Fighting Bees, and the Redhawks will get the ball to Chloe Roberts. And Roberts, if you remember, Juan, is one of their best servers this year in terms of aces.
Yes, sir. The total service aces for the season thus far is 11.
That's a lot, especially early in the season.
Yep.
As St. Ambrose going to get that point there as Wendt's return splits between 2 Redhawk defenders. Couldn't really see who that was as I was blocked by the the chair ref. But here we go now. Setting up the serve is Megan Mitchell for St. Ambrose. Low serve there, dug out by Turner. Mottman going to set it up. De Jesus goes up, just packs it over the net, perfectly placed.
De Jesus is having her way tonight.
If that's a sign of things to come for the Red Hawks, this is going to be a good night.
Yep.
Rotation in for the Red Hawks here. Now coming in is Stephanie Tier to take the serve. Tier had a really good game, assist last game one.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Tier to serve. Tier is a junior from Hobart. Good low serve there, and that's going to be a point for the Red Hawks, as Sievers couldn't handle it.
Sievers had some great hustle on that play. I admired that so much.
Tier to continue the serve to look to draw the Red Hawks even here in this first set. 7-6 currently St. Ambrose on top. Sievers goes up, and that's going to be returned for Roberts. Tier sets it up for De Jesus. Off the front line there, St. Ambrose setting it up as another return. Good, what a play over the net, but just out of play as Amber Tomlin just flinged her arm up, tried to just keep that ball alive, and nearly put it on the right or on the left side of the line. But it's going to be out of play, and the Red Hawks will draw this first set even at 7-7. Tier to continue serving. Oh, just out of play as Tier serve just exceeds the back line there. And that's going to give a point to St. Ambrose, and they will serve now. Rachel Dion to serve. As the serve hit the net, Red Hawks setting it up now. Good save there by Roberts as Red Hawks are going to get over the net there. Tip over the net there by Tomlin, nearly fell, but the Red Hawks were able to save it, and there's Strezzo off of Pierce. Point for the Red Hawks. Another thing, go ahead, Juan, go ahead.
One thing that the Red Hawks are bringing tonight is definitely some force onto that ball.
Yeah.
That St. Ambrose cannot handle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been a struggle early for them. De Jesus back to serve. Good low serve there, but Ambrose gets ready to set it back. And that's going to go off Roberts and out of play into the bleachers.
Almost in the trash can.
Almost into the trash can, just sitting about 10 feet to our right. Back to serve is Kavalikas to serve. Setting it up, there's Turner. That's going to be a return. And out of play there from Jessica Hem as she tried to pin it on the left side of the court on the inbounds line, but just missed it. Ball went into the Red Hawk bench.
Based on how this game is going, looks like the Red Hawks are thriving off of Ambrose's mistakes.
That's what you have to do. Especially in a conference game like this, you have to make sure you take advantage of every mistake possible. As Emma Roberts is in to serve, and they're ready. And the Fighting Bees are going to get that. Oh, that's going to be out of play.
That's got to sting. No pun intended.
Possibly more bee-like puns coming throughout this game.
Yep.
As the Red Hawks take their first lead of this game, 10-9. Roberts continuing her serve. Looping serve there, and St. Ambrose setting up an attack. Dug out by De Jesus. Strezzo goes up and puts it on the back line. Perfect placement there by Bria Strezzo.
Wow.
Can't place it much better. I don't even think she can go out there and put it down better than where she placed it there.
Yeah, that was a perfect placement.
Emma Roberts continuing her serve. She's a freshman from Crown Point. And De Jesus diving past the back line to keep it alive, and Turner guides it over the net backwards and out of play. And just in play there on the return attempt. Overturned.
Yeah, I was going to say, from my view, that I saw that perfectly. It was definitely out.
We'll take it as Sievers' return was out of play off to the right-hand side of the inbounds line. Red Hawks continuing their serve up by 3. Those are those momentum type plays there that are going to keep the game going in one team's favor.
Yep.
Tipped over the net, but Tier diving to save that one. De Jesus puts it over the net, dug out there by Hayes. Another tip of the play at the net by Markusik to keep the ball alive.
One thing that the Redhawks have improved on since my last broadcast with you, Steve, is
as De Jesus tips that one just in front of a diving Macy Pierce, and the Redhawks grow their lead to 4.
One thing that they improve on is definitely their spacing. They're definitely returning the ball efficiently.
You read my mind there, Juan, as their spacing has been perfect so far in this game. Redhawks continuing here, but St. Ambrose return is going to be out of play again. Point for the Redhawks. They, from our vantage point here on the sideline, we can't really tell the sides of the court per se. We can tell, the back lines, but the side courts, not necessarily. But they just have to be barely missing. But the Redhawks are feeding off this energy, and their bench is alive right now.
Exactly.
So on that thought, we will be right back. Timeout called on the floor by St. Ambrose. 14-9, your Redhawks are up. You're listening to Red Hawk Volleyball on the Red Hawk Sports Network. Steve Schmidt alongside Juan Lopez. Once again, if you're just now joining us, we do apologize for the no camera tonight. We were having some camera issues. It was having a problem connecting to our streaming software. That camera, I guess, just didn't want to work tonight.
Yeah.
I wanted to take the night off, so we'll look into this for sure because we don't want this to become a every game occurrence because we pride ourselves on giving the viewers the best possible experience. The bench for the Redhawks is on fire right now. Exactly. Every play they're talking and so much energy.
Exactly.
And Roberts with a good return there as Turner's setting it up now. And that's off tier from Meredith Siebers. She was one of the players of the week in the CCAC for St. Ambrose last week. She's going to get that point and end that long rally for the Redhawks. Correct me if I'm wrong here, Juan, but I think that rally started when it was 9-8. St. Ambrose. Now it's 15-10.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Jessica Hem with the serve. De Jesus sends it over the net. Setting it up now is St. Ambrose. Diving dig there by Emma Roberts, and there's Turner, and that's going to split the defense at the net of Wendt and Tomlin.
Yeah, it seems like St. Ambrose has some communication, but it looks like not everyone is just, playing efficiently. I
feel like right now for them, what the big thing is that a few attacks from the Redhawks are splitting two at the net, splitting between two defenders at the net, and their returns trying to hit side to side is just out of play. I feel like that's what's holding them back right now.
I agree.
As Maddie Mottman back in to serve, there's Tomlin setting it up for Siebers. Player of the week, the player of the week for the Fighting Bees as they will get that point there. Tomlin will go back to serve. She's a junior from Haywood, Illinois. Serve is up and it's sent over. There's Turner. Mottman to set it up. And Markusik with the kill attempt, but that's going to be returnable. As Roberts setting up, there's Turner now. Siebers goes up, block at the net, but it's just going to be out of play. As Markusik and Javert went up for that block at the net.
Still a great block attempt, even though it went out.
Yeah, that ball almost landed in play, just out of bounds. You want to see that early. Even if they're not falling, you want to see them getting up and getting clean looks at those blocks.
Right.
Mottman setting it up there as De Jesus hits it over the net. There's Pierce setting up. There's Tomlin. Block at the net, but it's going to go on the Redhawk side of things as Markusik had that block attempt. And St. Ambrose starting to go on a little rally here with Tomlin serving. Low serve there, but M. Roberts digs it out. There's going to be a setting violation on the Red Hawks there. That's going to be a point for St. Ambrose as they're going to continue their serve. Down by 2, but they're firing on all cylinders right now, Juan.
Yes, they are. And it's a very close game still, too.
Oh, yeah, this is going to, I feel like this is going to be the type of game we're going to have all night long. As Tomlin's going to get that ace there as De Jesus went diving for it and just went out of play. I feel like it's going to be a close game all night. It's going to be a game of runs. Whoever gets on the best run late in the set's probably going to be the set winner, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
Mottman going to set it up there. And another setting violation on the Red Hawks. That's 2 on the last 3 possessions, and we're evened up again, 16 all in this first set.
Yeah, very confused on why each time that Mottman is setting up that it's a violation.
Tomlin to serve. And Mottman sets it up, but Markusik's kill attempt's going to be dug out in the back line. Red Hawks are going to have an attack starting here as Turner goes up. She's blocked at the net, but it goes out of play there as Dion and Went couldn't guide that one in play. Goes out of bounds, and the Red Hawks will end that rally. See, like we just mentioned in the game of rallies, the last Red Hawk rally that put them out in front was almost a 10-point rally. Same goes for St. Ambrose there.
Yep.
As Turner's serve goes into the net there, evens the score back up.
Almost into Jevert.
Meredith Sievers to serve. Mottman setting it up. And miscommunication there on the Red Hawks. And Coach Ermage was going to call a timeout on the floor here. 18-17, St. Ambrose is up. I feel like that's a good timeout there.
I was just about to say, because, I think Coach Ermage is starting to see that, my girls are starting to fold, They need to tighten up a little bit and just, try to get some momentum going with some more rallies.
Let's see what they come up with out of the timeout as we will be right back. You're listening to Red Hawk Volleyball on the Red Hawk Sports Network. Well, welcome back to the Savannah Center. Here in this first set, St. Ambrose currently has the lead 18-17 over your Red Hawks. St. Ambrose will continue serve. Meredith Sievers back there.
Sievers with 21 services and counting in the season this far.
Definitely a threat back there as the refs were not ready for that play.
Always got to make sure the refs are ready before the game starts.
Now he blows his whistle for the resumption of play. Mottman setting it up. De Jesus goes up, tips it over the net, perfectly placed in front of 2 diving defenders of St. Ambrose, which are Macy Pierce and Amber Tomlin.
De Jesus knew exactly where to put that ball. It was right in the middle, too.
Yeah, because you could tell that those 2 players specifically were backing up as De Jesus was going up. So that's just good awareness, just to put it right in front of him.
Yep.
Chloe Roberts rotates back in. She'll take that serve as Pierce digs it out. And that's going to be a point for the Red Hawks, as St. Ambrose could not return it over the net within 3 hits. And the Red Hawks are back up in front here, Juan, at 19-18.
Yep.
Roberts will continue her serve. Nice serve, but Pierce right there diving to save it. That ball goes into the Red Hawk bench, but Mottman runs and chases it down to set up the play for the Red Hawks. Almost a miscommunication there at the net for St. Ambrose, but they return it. Now De Jesus goes up for the kill attempt, blocked at the net by Dion. Setting up, there's Kavalovas. And that's going to be a point for St. Ambrose off the Red Hawk front line.
Gotta love the assist from blocks with Jevert.
19 all here in this first set. Back to serve is going to be Megan Mitchell for St. Ambrose. Let's see what the Red Hawks here can do defensively. Low line drive serve as Roberts is going to dig it out. De Jesus setting it up. Turner goes up for the attack. And St. Ambrose with the return here. Mopman sets it up for De Jesus. She puts it over the net.
Seems like the St. Ambrose is becoming more predictable.
And Juan will tell you why in just a second after this plays over as Dion puts it over the net. And Farrell tips it over the net. Point for the Red Hawks. Tell us why you think St. Ambrose is being predictable here, Juan.
I think they're being predictable is because they keep going to the left side to Kavalaskas.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Mm-hmm. They have to have a new strategy to compete with the Red Hawks as they're starting to pick up on it.
Well, the last game that we had here in the Savannah Center when the Red Hawks took on Lincoln College ran the same play over and over and over again, and the Red Hawks were able to feed off that same exact play and go on long rallies. So let's see if that story is going to remain true. As Stephanie Tier with that serve. Dion goes up, and that kill attempt is going to be right on the line. Nicely placed there by Rachel Dion. And she'll be rewarded with that kill with this serve.
Dion with 96 kills, well, 97 now.
Wow.
Season.
She's definitely a threat on the in the middle of the net.
Yep.
Or middle of the floor, rather. Estrezzo guides that one over the net. Setting up as Tomlin. Dion's return's going to be long. She won't get a kill attempt there. And the Red Hawks go up 21-20 here in this first set. This serve here for the Red Hawks is very crucial if they want to control this first set.
Yep. At this point, it's like whoever makes a mistake, the opposing team makes a point.
Yeah, very much so. As De Jesus to serve. And that serve's going to go out of play off to the left-hand side of the court. Just missed. That's Kavalaskas back to serve. I think that's the first time I said the name right, Juan.
Yes.
Kavalaskas.
Yes.
Tier setting it up. There's Farrell going up, and she's going to be blocked at the net by Hem and Siebers. And St. Ambrose here up 22-21 first set.
Farrell, you can just tell Farrell really wanted that over the net.
Oh, yeah. Tier setting it up. Farrell again gets another chance. That's going to be returnable for St. Ambrose. It's going up to Siebers. Dug out by Chloe Roberts. Play at the net is going to be made there by Jessica Hem. Gets the point for St. Ambrose, 23-21. And we got a timeout on the floor called by Coach Erminger, his second and final of this first set. Now, when we get back from break, Juan will tell you why this next serve is so crucial for the Red Hawks in this first set. You're listening to Red Hawk Volleyball on the Red Hawk Sports Network. Well, welcome back to the Red Hawk Sports Network. Steve Schmidt here, Juan Lopez there. So, Juan, what do the Red Hawks have to do here on this next serve from St. Ambrose?
Well, simply they got to make a point. They got to get a strong counter attack.
As that's going to be an ace for St. Ambrose, as Kavalaskas is going to get that one, as Chloe Roberts really couldn't decide if she wanted to let that one go or try to hit it, and last second tried to hit it and just went off her hands out of play. And now St. Ambrose is a point away from taking this opening set. Tier setting it up. There's Farrell with a kill. Off of Pierce. Point for the Red Hawks. 24-22.
That is Farrell's 41st kill now.
41?
41.
She has definitely been a factor at the front line for the Red Hawks so far this season. Emma Roberts back in to serve. Tomlin setting it up. There's Siebers with the kill, and that's going to do it for this first set of play tonight. St. Ambrose goes up 1-0, 25-22.
Well, we were right about one thing, Steve. It was definitely a close set.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going to, use this set to kind of predict how the second set's going to be for both teams, the Red Hawks went on 2 long extended rallies, but unfortunately so did St. Ambrose. And that was basically just St. Ambrose went on the better run late. Like we said early on in the set, whoever gets going at the end of the sets are going to be the winners of the set because of how close these two teams are going to be all night long.
You were right about that, Steve.
So let's see what the Red Hawks are going to do heading into the second set. Again, if you're just now tuning in, we do apologize for the no camera issue tonight. Camera just was not wanting to connect to our live stream. We do apologize, and then we are going to be looking into this as soon as this game ends tonight to ensure that the next game this will not happen. We'll see you back in about 2 minutes as these teams get ready for the second set. You're listening to Red Hawk Volleyball on the Red Hawk Sports Network. Well, welcome back to the Red Hawk Sports Network. Getting ready for the start of the second set. The Red Hawks lost the first set to St. Ambrose 25-22. So St. Ambrose is up in the game 1-0. So Juan, what type of adjustments would you like to see the Lady Red Hawks make here?
Well, they just got to get some momentum going simply. I mean, as you had said about the previous set, that whoever gets the momentum going will win the set. Well, it's obvious that since St. Ambrose won the first set, it's time that the Red Hawks do the same.
I totally agree with you. Getting ready to start this second set out is Amber Tomlin back to serve. Tomlin was one of 3 of the players of the week in the CCAC last week. Another one was her teammate Siebers. And she's going to get this first set started out with an ace. So St. Ambrose picking up right where they left off to end that first set here in the second set.
That is now 12 for Tomlin in the season.
On the season?
Yep.
She'll continue her serve. There's Strezzo on the receiving end of it. De Jesus goes up. And wow. So what happened there was De Jesus went up for the kill attempt. That went off of Pierce. Pierce basically just threw her arms up in self-defense.
Yeah.
And the ball landed in play on the Red Hawks side of things.
Yeah, that was a very crazy play.
Tomlin to serve still. Mottman sets it up for De Jesus. Pierce setting it up. There's Dion as Strezzo's going to get ready to return it. As there's Javert punches it over the net. Tomlin sets it up. And that's going to be a point for Wendt as that went off the front line of the Red Hawks. Couldn't tell who that was as we were screened by the chair ref.
Mm-hmm.
But St. Ambrose starting out like they did in the first set, one up 3-0 early.
Yep. It's a repeat.
Mottman setting it up. And Mark Husik puts it over perfectly over the net just in front of the defense there of Tomlin.
Mark Husik knew exactly where she was putting that ball. Great awareness.
De Jesus to serve. Tomlin sets it up. And ooh, Dion almost made contact with the net, but play will continue here as Javert gets it over. Tomlin sets it up. There's Sievers, but stopped at the net, but the Red Hawks will have a attack brewing here. De Jesus goes up. Tomlin down to a knee to dig it out. Kowalski's return is going to be out of play. Point for the Red Hawks.
This might be where the Red Hawks can gain some momentum, Steve.
I totally agree. You got to feed off the errors right there, especially that one by Kowalskis. De Jesus will continue her serving. Punched over the net by Dion, setting it up for a Red Hawk attack, though. There's Tomlin now. Pierce. Block at the net by Mark Husik. The play is going to continue as Kowalskis is going to get the kill in front of De Jesus.
She still had contact with the ball, but it looks like it just didn't go over the net.
Sievers back to serve. Mottman setting it up. There's Mark Husik. That kill attempt is going to be over by our broadcast booth. And that's going to be a point for the Red Hawks.
I was about ready to catch that ball, Steve.
I almost took my headset off and dove for that one, Juan, but there was players running at me, and I figured I wouldn't interfere with the play. Chloe Roberts back in to serve here. Nice dig there by De Jesus. Pierce gets the return there, and there's Kowalskis, and a diving dig by De Jesus. Roberts guides it over. Tomlin sets it up, and a block at the net. But St. Ambrose keeps the ball alive. Roberts with a low dig. Mottman plays it off the net, and there's Farrell getting it over.
That was almost an impossible play to return.
And Kowalskis' return out of play. Point for the Red Hawks, and we are even 4 apiece here in this second set.
Yep, it's looking like exactly how the first set was going.
That's one of those plays that we just seen there. As what happened was the ball went off the net, and Mottman just able to stay focused and keep the play alive. Results in a point here for the Red Hawks.
Yep.
Roberts continuing her service. Kowalskis on the other end going to go up for the kill, but stopped by Roberts. Almost a broken play again, but the Red Hawks are able to keep it going. De Jesus diving play there, keeping the ball alive, and Farrell gets it over.
Love that hustle from De Jesus.
And a block at the net, it's in. Blocked at the net by Strezzo and Farrell. I believe Strezzo got a little bit more piece of that than Farrell did, but the Red Hawks do get the point nonetheless, 5-4. They have their first lead of the second set. Roberts continues her serve. Off Sievers and a point for the Red Hawks. And that's going to be, that return went off Sievers in front of a diving Tomlin right in front of the net. And the Red Hawks, I feel like the Red Hawks need to gain some momentum off these serves from Roberts, Juan.
Exactly.
Roberts' serve goes over. Pierce digs it out. And Dion goes up, and that's going to be in front of a diving Mottman. Point for St. Ambrose.
Another thing, Steve, is that when for Redhawks, when we're talking Roberts, I think we should distinguish them by first names. We do have 2 Roberts.
You're right. Since we don't have the video tonight, we probably should do that.
Yes, and the one that was just at serving was Chloe Roberts.
Correct. Redhawks setting up an attack there. Strezzo. That's going to be off of Mitchell, but St. Ambrose keeps the ball alive. Mitchell guides it over backwards. Farrell goes up for the kill attempt, and she is blocked at the net there by Kavaliskas and Hem. Point for the Redhawks, or for St. Ambrose, pardon me, as Mitchell continues to serve. Low serve, but DeJesus digs it out. Mobin sets it up, and Farrell puts it. And a point for the Redhawks.
Farrell is shining tonight with her kills.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that Farrell is focused tonight. You can tell that she wants to win this game.
Yep.
Very much so. Stephanie Teeger back into the game. She's back to serve. As rotations happening for both teams. Here we go now. Ball's up and Teer's serve goes over. Tomlin setting it up. As Kavaliskas is going to get another kill.
The ball was going very fast off of that kill, and it's just kind of impossible for the Redhawks to return.
Yeah, that was definitely a hard return. You can tell when Kavaliskas goes up for the kill attempt that she knows what she wants to do with it.
Yes, she does.
Rachel Dion serving. DeJesus going to guide it over the net. Tomlin's going to set one up here for Kavaliskas again in front of a diving Chloe Roberts. And a point for St. Ambrose. Like we mentioned in the first set, that was a play they'd like to go to in the middle of that set, and they're going back to it here in the middle of this second set. So I wonder if that's the kind of play that they figure, okay, more about midway through this set, we're going to run this.
Yeah, and it's working for them in their favor.
Tomlin's going to set it up. There's Dion. As they change course, went to the opposite end of the court, and that was Rachel Dion.
I think Ambrose has objective to getting it to Chloe Roberts, as she hasn't been returning them.
Low serve there. DeJesus comes up, dig that one, and Strezzo gets it over. And Tomlin, who's normally the setter, looked like she was faked out the defense, I should say, when she looked like she was getting ready to set it, but instead spikes it into the back corner of the Redhawk-sided defense. And St. Ambrose extends their lead 10-7 in the second set. Teer setting it up. There's Turner. And Kavaliskas' return is going to be just in play on the back line.
Looks like DeJesus was signaling Chloe Roberts to get the ball, and it looked like she kind of just froze. Yeah,
that was one of those tough ones, though, even if I don't think either one would have got to it just because of the placement of it.
Yeah.
And the speed that Kavaliskas put on it. So we got a timeout on the court called by Coach Erminger of the Redhawks. Redhawks trail 11-7 in this second set and 1-0 for the game. You're listening to Red Hawk Volleyball on the Red Hawk Sports Network. Welcome back to the Red Hawk Sports Network. Red Hawks taking on St. Ambrose here in this CCAC Conference Volleyball matchup. We got a final from the Crown Point Sportsplex one as the IUN men's soccer team played in their first game of the season against Trinity Christian and dropped that one 5-0. And that's going to be a setting violation on the serve
That's exactly 3 setting violations from the Redhawks tonight.
2 in the first set and then 1 here in this second set. Because that one was on tier and the Redhawks need to stop this rally here.
And the Redhawks aren't really known for getting setting violations.
Yeah, I agree with you. And Farrell's going to get the kill, and that's going to end the rally.
Now that I'm being specific, I think that's about her 4th kill tonight from...
Yeah, we don't have live stats up in front of us, so we're just kind of estimating. But I think you're right. I think it's been 3 or 4 kills, maybe 4. I think you're right.
From Farrell.
From Farrell, specifically. Strezzo with the serve. Kowalski goes up. And that's going to be a point for St. Ambrose, as it was just in front of a diving Roberts.
Their balls are going straightly to the right corner where Chloe Roberts happens to be standing there each time.
Kowalski back to serve. Farrell goes up. She's blocked at the net, but the Redhawks are going to continue play here, and that's going to go out of bounds as Farrell just punched it over the net and hopes to put it on the line. Just missed. 14-8. This is a crucial part of the set here, Juan, I would say.
Yes, it is.
As that serve goes off of Strezzo and that hit the net and dropped out of play, or in play, rather, and a point for St. Ambrose, 15-8.
Someone's got to set the tone for the Redhawks to get them back alive here.
I agree. Low serve there. And nearly a point there, but the Bees get it over the net. And DeJesus' return cross court goes just out of play into the St. Ambrose bench.
It was a good spike to the side of the court, but just didn't convert.
Cavalos cuts to serve. Chloe Roberts guides it over the net. Tomlin setting it up. And a miscommunication there as that's going to drop on the St. Ambrose side of things. Point for the Redhawks. Emma Roberts checks back in to serve. And Markusek also checks in on the rotation.
That's exactly what we need, is some more net action from Mary Markusek.
And Cavalos' kill splits the defense at the net of Markusek and DeJesus. Point for the Redhawks, or for St. Ambrose. I don't know why I keep doing that. I keep saying point for the Redhawks, but point for St. Ambrose. Back to serve is Jessica Hem for the Bees. Throws that ball nearly as high as the rafters. And a point for St. Ambrose. That was one too many hits on the side of the Redhawks.
Yep.
And Juan, St. Ambrose running away with this second set currently. Scores 18-9.
Yes.
Hem to continue her serve. And that goes into the net.
This is the time where the Redhawks need to contribute on the board.
And that was a big play there for the point.
Yep.
Maddie Mottman back in to take this serve. Javert also checks back in on the rotation. Tomlin setting it up. There's Kavalaskas off of Mottman and out of play. And point for St. Ambrose. 19-10. Juan, what do you think has been the difference in this second set for St. Ambrose to get out such a big lead?
Well, I think it's because the play that are constantly running with Kavalaskas is actually working compared to the first set where it really wasn't working.
Yeah, I would agree with that. As that point there is going to go to the Redhawks as DeJesus' attack attempt. It goes off of one of the
Pierce.
Fighting Bees. Was it Pierce? Okay, it was Pierce. Yeah, I couldn't tell which one it was. There was a couple of them in that area. DeJesus serving. Tomlin sets it up. There's Dion off the front line. 2 Redhawks go for it. Markusek guides it over. Kavalaskas saves it. There's Tomlin setting it up. Now Sievers blocking the net by Markusek. Play continues. As Emma Roberts sets it up. There's Javert out of play. And it's 20-11. St. Ambrose there 5 points away from taking a commanding lead in this game.
It's probably the biggest lead of the game right now.
I think it is. as Siebers to serve. Mottman sets it up for Mark Husick, and a setting violation going to be called on the Red Hawks.
Looks like the Red Hawks are their setting is not great tonight, as it's usually on point.
Yeah. I feel like they might just be trying a little bit too hard to try to cut into this deficit right now.
Yeah.
Mottman sets it up cross court. And a block at the net by St. Ambrose is going to net them another point, as that was Dion and Wendt.
A 10-point lead, a very strong 10-point lead from St. Ambrose.
Yeah, now it's 11 as it's 22-11 to score. Siebers continuing her serve. And a low serve just hits the top of the net, but the Redhawks get it over. Now Pierce sets it up for Cavales because she's blocking the net. And St. Ambrose somehow keeps it alive to get it over the net. Emma Roberts sets it up there. Strezzo cross court, out of play, into the Bees bench. Point for St. Ambrose, 23-11.
This is everything going wrong for the Redhawks right now.
Yeah, they're not getting those lucky breaks that they got in the first set, whereas St. Ambrose seems to be getting a lot right now. But that could easily change in the third set.
Right.
As that play was a return attempt into the net. But I think that Peyton Wendt for St. Ambrose got a piece of it and guided it in play. It was one of those close plays at the net. Can't really tell if somebody hit it or not, or if it was all the net, but St. Ambrose is a point away from victory nonetheless, or in this taking this set nonetheless.
Yes.
Strezzo's return is going to be in front of a couple diving Bees defenders. And a point for the Redhawks as there was one too many hits on that side of St. Ambrose, and the Redhawks have to go on a rally here.
I would like to address, that was a very close play for St. Ambrose as the ball was swirling at the middle of the net, and it just went back to their side.
Yeah, that was close. Chloe Roberts back into the game to serve, and that's going to go out of play. And St. Ambrose takes the second set, 25-12. Redhawks have some work to do, Juan. So while the teams get ready to prepare for this third set, we're going to take a break. You're listening to Red Hawk Volleyball on the Red Hawk Sports Network. Welcome back to the Savannah Center. Getting ready for the start of this third set. St. Ambrose has a commanding 2-0 lead over the Red Hawks. So, Juan, what do you think that the Red Hawks were talking about in their huddle between sets?
Well, I think one of the things that definitely needs to be addressed that should be done is that they need, they need to retreat. They need to get some momentum on the board. As you can see, St. Ambrose won the previous set by, 10 points?
25-12, so 13.
Oh, 13. It's like, we can't let that happen again. We gotta come back even harder now as we're down 2 sets.
I totally agree. It's go time here. If you lose this set, the game's over. You want to continue this as much as possible. So let's see what the Red Hawks are going to do as Maddie Mottman to serve. To open up this third set. And that's going to be an ace for the Red Hawks. Off to a great start as that ball could not be returned from St. Ambrose. Let's see if they can feed off some momentum here. If you remember, Juan, the first 2 sets went to St. Ambrose. And in both of those sets, they started out with a 3-0 lead.
Exactly.
And that is going to be a moot point there as Meredith Sievers is going to get the kill and even this set up.
Sievers has been a name we've been repeating all night, along with Kavalaskas. Oh my gosh.
Tomlin to serve. Mottman setting it up. There's Strezzo with a block at the net. Red Hawks will continue, but the ball's going to drop with a miscommunication there at the net. Can't have that here in this third set.
Yes, especially when the communication has been great since the first set.
Yeah, you're bound to have a couple plays a night.
Right.
And they only had 1 or 2, if that, plus that. And that's going to be a kill for the Red Hawks as Mark Kusick gets that one over the net into Tomlin. Point for the Red Hawks. Strezzo to serve. 2-2 in this third set. Sievers, there's Tomlin setting up for Sievers again. Strezzo on the receiving end of that. Mottman setting it up. De Jesus guides it over. Tomlin. There's Pierce. Dion. Across the net to Strezzo. Mottman sets it up. Javert blocking the net, but Mottman right there to retrieve it. Strezzo. And a point for the Red Hawks as they couldn't get that one over the net.
Looked like De Jesus tried to do a quick Taparuni over the net to get the point.
And for you folks that might not know what a taparoonie is, that's our way of saying a very soft hit just over the net.
Just to clarify.
And a point for St. Ambrose off that serve from Sievers as she continues her serve. One interesting fact about Sievers here as I'm looking at their roster, she's only a freshman and she already won Player of the Week.
That's a pretty impressive stat to have in your early college career as a volleyball player.
I don't even think she's been off the floor yet. And that's going to be another point for St. Ambrose as the Red Hawks couldn't get that one over the net as the return went into the net. 5-2 is the score in favor of St. Ambrose.
St. Ambrose is simply thriving in any way they can.
And that served by Sievers off Strezzo, out of play into the scorer's table.
I like to take that back. It's more specifically on serving.
On serving. Yeah, we don't have the stats out in front of us, but they've had a lot of plays that resulted in points off serves tonight.
Exactly.
Roberts de Jesus now over to Javert, gets it over Pierce. They're setting it up now as Tomlin to Kavalaskas in front of a diving Chloe Roberts. Point for St. Ambrose, 7-2, third set.
Sievers' serve is just simply great for St. Ambrose.
Low looping serve there. De Jesus goes up for it, tips it over the net, but St. Ambrose tries to keep that one alive, but can't get it over the net. One too many hits on their side. And let's see what the Red Hawks can do here with Chloe Roberts serving. Roberts has been one of their best servers this year. She's a freshman from Frankfort, Indiana. That's another good serve, and that's going to be an ace. Off of Kavalaskas.
She's had 15, well now should be 16, I believe. 16 aces.
Right you are, buddy. Here we go. Roberts to serve again. Tomlin setting it up. There's Dion. And she's going to get that one for St. Ambrose. St. Ambrose is just doing a good job finding let's see, how do I want to word this? They're finding placement. That's the word I'm looking for, placement.
Placements to score.
Exactly, right in front of the Red Hawk defenders. I couldn't think of the word. As here we go now, Farrell gets it over. And Sievers tries to save it, but it goes into the net. And a point for the Red Hawks, 8-5, third set. St. Ambrose on top. Turner's going to rotate in for Mottman. And Tier is coming in for Javert. Tier's going to take the serve.
St. Ambrose looking more alive than they did in the first set.
Yeah, both teams, I think, have increased on their energy level.
Yes.
Since the first set, as Kavaliuskas will get another kill into that back corner. I feel like we've said her name a lot tonight, Juan.
Yes.
Dion to serve. Let's see what the Red Hawks can do here defensively. Farrell, Tier setting it up. Play at the net, but the Red Hawks will continue a play. De Jesus tips it over the net, point for the Red Hawks. Let's see if they can feed off that energy there.
Yep.
Rotating in is Alexis Hayes for St. Ambrose. De Jesus back to serve. 9-6 is the score. St. Ambrose up in this third set. Low serve, and that's going to be off of Hayes and out of play, and that's going to be an ace for the Red Hawks. And you could definitely, well, we can hear, I'm not sure if you all can hear at home, but the Red Hawk bench is fired up after that ace for De Jesus.
Yes.
And that serve goes into the net. And then now the ball's going to go over to St. Ambrose. Kavaliuskas to serve. Strezzo, now Tier sets it up. There's Turner going up for it, and Turner puts it in the back corner. Point for the Red Hawks. Good placement there for Turner in the back corner.
It was a great hit to the left, exactly to the left corner of the court.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of Turner's favorite spots, because over the games that we've done here at home this year, she likes to favor that side of the that corner of the court. Yes. I've noticed. Emma Roberts back in to serve. Tomlin tips it over, but there's Roberts. Tier sets it up. Strezno tips it over. Point for the Red Hawks, as that was just in front of a diving Kavaliuskas.
Red Hawks starting to gain momentum is exactly what they need right now.
Exactly, because this is the only way that they can continue the game tonight is to win this third set. Emma Roberts continuing her serve. Kavaliuskas now. Tomlin sets it up, and Sievers with the kill.
At first, the Red Hawks knew how to counter the St. Ambrose spike from Kavaliuskas, and now it seems like they're just struggling to even defend against that.
Hem back into the game. De Jesus with the dig. And Markusik almost has the kill there, and that's going to be a point for St. Ambrose as the ball goes out of play off of a Red Hawk defender. See, with our current server here, Jessica Hems, the way when she starts her serve is the ball goes so high. I don't even know how you can hit the ball when it's coming down as fast as it is. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Tomlin setting it up. There's Kavaliuskas dug out by De Jesus. Strezzo's return. There's Hem. Tomlin sets it up. There's Sievers. And there's going to be a net or double hit on this, or setting error. Setting error on St. Ambrose. See, now the... Oh, wait. No, setting error on the Red Hawks. Oh, okay. Okay, I didn't... Okay. Setting error on the Red Hawks, so now St. Ambrose will regain possession, and Hems serve into the net. Sorry for that confusion, folks. The way that the refs went on the side of the net, it looked like he said 2 on the St. Ambrose side of things.
Yeah.
But now it's 12-11 here in this third set.
This set is looking like the first set where it was just a very close game.
Back and forth.
Yep.
Mottman with the serve. Tomlin setting up their Sievers. And just out of the reach of DeJesus and Emma Roberts.
Seems like when St. Ambrose knows when the game is tied, they just know exactly what what play to run, and that is through Kavaliauskas.
Yeah, now they're starting to get Siebers more involved on that left side too.
Yep.
Tomlin to serve. And the ref wasn't ready again that time. That's the second time in 2 sets that Tomlin's done that. Oh, the score was different on the... They had to readjust the score. Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's 14-10 St. Ambrose. And because I think what happened... Well, I think the scores table thought the same thing we did on that setting error part. I think they put a point on the board for the Red Hawks at that time.
Yeah.
Well, here we go now. It's Tomlin setting it up. Sievers is blocking the net by Markusik. Emma Roberts to Motman setting up for Javert. And nice play there by Kavaliauskas. And Javert nearly guides it over. And that's going to be a point for St. Ambrose in front of a few diving Red Hawk defenders. And St. Ambrose clicking on all cylinders right here. Red Hawks need to stop here, Juan.
Exactly, because once St. Ambrose gets going, it seems like they cannot stop.
And that's going to be an ace for Tomlin, rather, as ball went off Motman and out of play. Tomlin to continue her serve. Roberts goes for the dig. DeJesus guides it over. Tomlin setting it up. Dion's return goes into the Red Hawk bench. Point for the Red Hawks. Let's see how many... What I mean to say is, Juan, let's see if the Red Hawks... Because you remember we talked about our small goals, right, in a game. Let's see how many points the Red Hawks could get to as Emma Robert... Correction, Bria Strezzo right there.
Yes.
With an ace. Puts it into the left-hand corner of the court, perfectly placed. But as I was saying, let's see if the Red Hawks can at least even it up before they get the ball up. Another good serve, but that's going to be a return attempt, as that's going to go off of Emma Roberts and out of play. Point for St. Ambrose.
St. Ambrose almost into the 20s now, and Red Hawks just trying to fight back as best they could. Best they can.
Yeah. Sievers to serve. Motman setting it up. There's Markusik over the net. And returnable as Tomlin sets it up. Nice play by Motman to keep the ball alive. Javert goes up. And that's going to go off of Tomlin. Out of play. Point for the Red Hawks. Chloe Roberts checks back in. She will take this serve. Already with an ace tonight is Roberts. Let's see what she can do here with the Red Hawks down by 4 in this third set. Tomlin sets it up. Red Hawks keep the ball alive. Motman setting it up for DeJesus. And that goes off Tomlin, and wow. So DeJesus right there with the kill attempt. Tomlin threw her arms up in self-defense, kept the ball alive, and put it into the back corner.
Wow. It's one thing St. Ambrose has really done tonight has really impressed me is that they surprisingly can defend against even Emilishka's powerful hits.
And all the Red Hawks powerful hits, too. I mean, they have some hard hitters on this team, as that's going to be an ace for St. Ambrose again. But as we were saying, the Red Hawks have so many power hitters on this team.
Yep.
They're just not finding the gaps in this game.
Right. They're not finding the gaps how St. Ambrose is.
Motman setting up, and Farrell goes up. There's Tomlin. And Kavaliauskas goes up for the kill attempt, but the Red Hawks keep it alive. Ball still alive here. DeJesus goes up, tips it over the net. Tomlin setting it up. Mitchell and Kavaliauskas there. Motman saves it. Javert goes up cross court. There's Tomlin keeping it alive. There's Mitchell. Blocking attempt at the net. Ball still going. This is a long rally here as there's Tomlin now. Kavaliauskas. DeJesus keeps it alive. Motman setting up for DeJesus. Tip over the net, but it's blocked. Play continues. Motman punches it over. Tomlin sets it up. Dion tips it over. But a play at the net for the Red Hawks keeps it alive. And into the net. is Sievers. Point for the Redhawks. That's exactly the kind of plays that you need to keep this momentum alive because that was a long rally.
I think that was the biggest rally of the game.
Yeah, by far. Most definitely. And this is the type of play that the Redhawks need to gain the momentum off of. Exactly. As you could tell after that play was over, the shoulders just, went down on all of the St. Ambrose players because they wanted that point so bad. And Javert's return goes into the net. Out of play. Her serve attempt goes out of play. 20-14 is the score. St. Ambrose is up. Back to serve is Rachel Dion. Mottman setting it up. De Jesus goes up. Blocked at the net, but it goes out of play as Hem could not guide that one in bounds. Point for the Redhawks, 20-15. And Alishka to serve. Pierce digs it out. Cavalos goes for the kill attempt. Strezzo there to save it, but Mottman with a diving play to keep it alive. Tomlin sets it up, and Hem is blocked at the net by Farrell. Solo block there for Kelsey Farrell.
A well-needed block.
That's a big play. Now the Redhawks are down 4. Let's see what they can do with this momentum that they have right now. Tomlin setting it up. There's Hem going up, and it's just in play.
Ooh, that was a great play.
Kowalska to serve. Let's see what she can do here as the ball's up. Strezzo, Chloe Roberts, and there's Farrell guiding it over. Pierce. Play at the net, diving as Roberts to keep it alive. Mottman sets it up. Tip over the net by Farrell. And Tomlin's return goes out of play. Point for the Redhawks. Emma Roberts is going to check back in for Farrell here, and Markusik in for Chloe Roberts. Emma Roberts to take the serve.
Almost a close game now as the Redhawks are fighting back.
Yeah, it's a 4-point game now. Diving play by Roberts to keep it alive. De Jesus going up. Pierce saves it. There's Tomlin. Sievers in front of Javert. Point for St. Ambrose, and they are 3 points away from victory tonight. Looks like there's some confusion on the... Oh, no confusion. They're just subbing in a new server, and that is Isabel Todd. First time she's been on the floor tonight for St. Ambrose. Big play here for the Redhawks. You don't want to give up another point just yet.
Yes.
Strezzo tips it over, but St. Ambrose keeps it alive. And Sievers tips it over.
That's got to hurt. Just a short-tipped play there.
23-17, St. Ambrose. Todd continuing serve. De Jesus, now Mottman sets it up. And Markusik tries for the attack attempt, but that's going to go into the net as Sievers try to tip it over the net.
They try to make the last play re-exist again.
23-18, Mottman in to serve. Tomlin setting it up. Blocked at the net. Javert punches it over and puts it in perfectly. Good placement there by Carly Javert.
Yes.
Mottman will continue serve here. As Mickey Hayes checks in for St. Ambrose. Along with Hannah Sondag. So St. Ambrose getting a few extra players in here tonight.
Yep.
Let's see if Mottman can get the Redhawks a 20 here on this serve. And she will, as that's going to go off of Kowalska. And you could smell the Redhawks gaining more momentum here, gaining more energy. This is 23-20. Mopman continues serve. And just on a play past the back line, and St. Ambrose is 1 point away from taking tonight's matchup. Let's see who's going to be in to serve, as Tomlin's going to check back in along with Dion. And Tomlin's going to take this serve. Ball is up, and it's going to go over. There's Emma Roberts. Mopman setting it up. De Jesus gets it over. Dug out by Pierce. Tomlin setting it up. A nice play by Emma Roberts to keep play continue. As De Jesus gets it over. Pierce again. Tomlin setting it up. Dion goes up. De Jesus with a diving play there. But Wendt is there. Tips it down. And that will do it tonight from the Savannah Center, as St. Ambrose takes tonight's matchup 3-0. 25-22, 25-12, and 25-20. Juan, final thoughts.
You know something? I'm sharing something now. That is now St. Ambrose. They are on a 4-winning streak.
4-game winning streak.
And one thing I was going to mention is that they tend to, in their games, they tend to lead by their opponents in kills and assists, which, based on how the game was tonight, I'm pretty sure they did the same with the Redhawks.
Yeah, I feel like these were two evenly matched teams tonight. I feel like the Redhawks played a very good game tonight.
I agree.
It's just like we said earlier in the game, this is a game of runs. This is a momentum swing game.
Exactly.
And just at certain points, St. Ambrose had better runs, and that's why they were able to take 3-0. So on paper, this looks like a commanding win, but it was a hard-fought game by both squads tonight, and Redhawks should not be ashamed, that's for sure.
Exactly. It was a great game played by the Redhawks, and not to mention from St. Ambrose, too, being, I think the starting lineup they had, almost pretty much the entire game was pretty good.
All right, so with that being said, that's going to do it here tonight in the Savannah Center on the Redhawks Sports Network. Again, we apologize for the issues we have tonight. We're going to resolve those as quickly as possible. Redhawks dropped this one 3-0. For Juan Lopez and our producer tonight, Tom Gorski, I'm Steve Schmidt. We will see you guys next time here on the Redhawks Sports Network.
See ya.